All right, today we're going to dive into a framework for achievement that pretty much flips the conventional wisdom right on its head. We're going to break down how to stop just working harder and start actually building a system for success. Okay, so let's just get right to the heart of it. On the left, you've got that classic image of struggle, right? Just brute force. But on the right, you see an architect, calmly overseeing a machine that's doing all the work for him. This just nails the point. Real, scalable success isn't about pushing that boulder harder. It's about building the machine in the first place. And this is the exact belief that keeps so many of us stuck. We're told constantly, just grind, just hustle, put in more hours. But the source material for this explainer calls that what it is, a lie. A lie that puts a hard ceiling on your potential and keeps you trapped, just trading your time for output. So, first things first, we've got to dismantle this fundamental misunderstanding. Let's really pull apart this idea that more effort is always the right answer. It's such a simple question, but it's really profound when you stop and think about it. I mean, think of the millions of people out there working incredibly hard every single day in really demanding jobs. If pure effort was the only thing that mattered, our world would look completely different. So clearly, something else is at play here. And that something else is leverage. It's not about working more. It's about working smarter. Leverage means you build something once and it keeps working for you. Think about a writer who spends, say, 40 hours on a book. That one-time effort can generate sales for years and years, multiplying their input way beyond what they could ever get by just trading hours for dollars. That's leverage. And here's the absolutely crucial point. Constant, grinding hard work ties you down. It demands you be there. Leverage, on the other hand, is designed from the ground up to operate without you. It's what actually builds the freedom that most people who are working so hard hope to achieve someday. Which, of course, brings us to the effort trap. That place where ambition goes to die because it's only being powered by hard work. Now, look at this comparison here, because this is where it really clicks. An effort-based life is totally linear. 1 hour of your work gets you 1 unit of output. You just hit a wall. There are only so many hours in a day. But a machine-based life, that's exponential. You build an asset, a system that works around the clock, scaling your impact way beyond your personal time and energy. Okay, so how do you actually make that shift? How do you go from an effort-based life to a machine-based one? Well, it all starts by adopting a completely different way of thinking, the architect's mindset. I love this metaphor. It's just perfect. Yelling at the crops is pure wasted effort with zero leverage. It's pointless, right? The smart farmer builds a system, irrigation, good soil, the right planting schedule. He architects a process that ensures growth, and then he steps back and lets the system do the work. And this question right here, this is the fuel for that effort trap we were talking about. It assumes the only thing you can possibly change is how much you personally put in. It's all about adding more hours, taking on more tasks, and, let's be honest, just burning out. But the architect asks a totally different and way more powerful question. They don't ask, how do I do this task again? They ask, how do I build a system so this task never needs me again? The goal isn't just to repeat an outcome, it's to automate it. And that leads us to the practical side of things. It stops being about trying to find the motivation to push that boulder every single day, and it becomes about designing a system that gets the boulder rolling all by itself. Chasing motivation is just exhausting. It's a total emotional roller coaster. One day you're fired up, the next, you're not. Designing momentum means you build a process that carries you forward, even on the days you don't feel like it. Success stops being this series of painful sprints and turns into a self-sustaining loop. And the process itself is actually a pretty simple 3-step loop. First, you put in the work up front to build the system. Then you spend a little time to refine it, make it more efficient. And finally, you just let it run, generating results automatically while you move on to build the next thing. So what's the end game here? What does all this actually lead to? Well, it's the true outcome of really adopting this architect's mindset. And hey, it's not about the fancy car or the big house. According to this way of thinking, the real measure of success, the ultimate status symbol, is this. It's checking your sales or your project updates and seeing that the machine you built was working for you while you were sleeping or with your family or just living your life. Now that's what real freedom looks like. So, I want to leave you with this one question to think about. Look at your goals, your career, your projects. Are you the one pushing the boulder every day? Or are you being the architect, designing the machine that's going to move it for you? Because as we've just seen, that one choice, it really does define everything.